Hello and welcome to Encounter Roleplay, everybody. Once again, we are playing the Broken Kingdom campaign. My name is Will, I am your Dungeon Master and host for tonight, and I'm joined by my lovely players, although we do have some announcements to make before I introduce everybody. First of all, this is a good one. We have hit 100 followers. Down there, that was 100 followers before. Now it's 150 followers that we're trying to reach. So Josh is going mental. Thank you guys so much for reaching that goal. Secondly, we have some bad news, which is Ted has had to leave the show for the foreseeable future for a while. Due to personal reasons, Ted is unable to be around and be role-playing with us, sadly. But we are all on really good terms with Ted. We've not had a breakup or anything. We love Ted. Ted loves us still. Don't worry. And he will be returning in the future as soon as he's ready to, as soon as he wants to. I'm not going to go into exactly why Ted isn't with us, but that's due to his personal reasons, and that's his own private business. So for now, we are going without Ted. But like I say, he will be joining us. There's always going to be a space for Ted down there. So fear not, he will be back soon. But let's get back into the game. Let's go round with our slightly altered player list. I just realised that you guys are in the wrong spaces. I'll change that in a moment. But
I'm in the right one.
Beth, who are you playing today?
Hello, I am playing Kaylin, as usual.
Excellent. And Joshua.
Hi, I'm Josh, and I am playing Kai the Half-Elf.
Indeed. And lastly, but not least, James.
In a sudden change of events, I am playing Roland, the half-orc paladin. Yes.
Indeed, things have changed. We'll get into exactly why. Another quick thing, two things actually. Donation goal. We have that up there. We're looking into getting a website for ourselves where we can have all our podcasts, all our videos, some blogs, some articles that we write, and a forum for you guys to hang out and chill out in. We're actually looking for about £45 for that. Not asking for money. If you guys have a few free quid lying around and you want to send us our way, that'd be most appreciative. And we are, in fact, very appreciative to all people over there who have donated already. We can't thank you enough. But that is what we're looking to put our money towards, just so you know. Also, down there, those zombies down there, they need some names. They're looking very sad and lonely without names. So if you guys got any ideas for the one on the left and the one on the right, we'll take them and we'll put them up there. Also, one more thank you to Nixeris42, Rachel, for drawing this amazing artwork of James's new character.
Yes. After receiving about barely double figures of hours notice.
Indeed. So thank you very much for that. We've already got one name idea in from Super Wars King for Zachary, which I believe is your name, Super Wars King. So
mysterious.
Yes. So we'll pick that one. Anyone else throughout the night has any ideas? We'll pick the best ones and put them there. So let us recap what happened last time on the show. James, would you like to do this, or would anyone else like to do this? Because it's usually James.
I unless anyone was gasping to, I will do it.
Not really.
If I do, I'll just deteriorate into swearing at Duncan. So I'll leave that one to you, buddy.
Previously on the Adventures of Duncan the Brave. So the party, minus Kaylin, who mysteriously disappeared, headed towards Purg. On the way, they met a dwarf who had a forgettable name.
His name was Morin.
Yes, who was accompanied by a couple of humans. We continued on our merry way, and we were informed by him that where we actually wanted to go was Cogdarum, this home city of what's left of the Dwarven Empire. On the way there, Duncan accepted a quest from a man with an exclamation mark above his head to deliver a slave from one town to the next. When he got outside the town, he freed said slave. Upon arriving in the next town...
Thank you for following Gorcannon.
Thank you. Yes, I shall. Kai, waiting on the outside of the town, for God knows what reason, definitely not to avoid fights. Ulfgar and Duncan went in and received a lot of racism. Well, Ulfgar received a lot of racism, and one of the guard captain recognized Duncan's description as the man who was supposed to be bringing him his slave. Duncan and Ulfgar lured the guards out to the edge of the woods where Kai was, and the three of the party set upon them and murdered them. Kai got very cross because he didn't want to be in a fight.
Thank you for following, Galagoth.
He also was unconscious for a short period of time. And then Duncan, seeking to continue his good work, headed off into town to do things of a goodly nature.
Okay. And I'm going to say...
We got a load of gold.
Yes, you did indeed. I'm also going to say that Ulfgar shortly thereafter followed you into town. Duncan.
Yes.
Duncan.
What do you mean, me?
Yes,
not Duncan.
Well, followed Duncan into town. This is the other person. And so we begin with Kaelin. We're actually going to go a little bit back in time. Thank you, Delinia. We're going to go a little back in time to the previous session where Kaelin disappeared mysteriously while sitting on a log in the camp. So, Kaelin.
Hello.
Suddenly felt a surge of magic in your fingers, uncontrolled. You didn't know where it's coming from or what was happening. And all of a sudden, you blinked, and now you are in a very different place to the campsite. You're actually inside what looks like a very gothic and desolate town. It's covered in darkness and silence. It seems quite small. There are ruined buildings which stand around you, and there's a crumbling watchtower which dominates the center. And so you just find yourself there all of a sudden.
Well, Kaelin is really rather confused because random teleportation has never happened before.
Indeed. So, as you kind of look around and get your bearings, from the base of the tower, you see a huge white wolf with only one eye, the other's being gouged out.
Pretty.
And, as it looks at you, it tilts its head to one side, inquisitively, and then it speaks inside your head. What are you doing in my home?
And Kaelin's just like, what the fuck? She's really rather confused. Seems to be a slight pattern here. And she's just like, you tell me?
You're the elven sorceress. How fascinating.
Yes. What the fuck are you?
Oh, me? I'm a demon, currently residing in Kai's mind. My name is Moldark.
Oh.
He strolls over towards you with his... He pads over towards you. Looks up at you. Interesting how your magic interfered with my own taking you here. Do you have a particular interest in extremely powerful and handsome demons?
Not until about a minute ago. Now my interest mainly lies in why I'm here.
It is a curious thing, your magic. I don't exactly know the reason why you're here. You don't seem to have much control over that power of yours.
Didn't you say something along the lines of our magic getting mixed together? Doesn't look like you have much control over yours either.
My power knows no bounds. I am a incredibly strong magic user. Your meddling magic seems to have only got in the way of mine.
Of course, that's obviously what happened. So you don't know why I'm here?
No. Unless you have a reason to speak with me.
I didn't even know you existed.
Well, now you do. As I said, my name is Moldark, and yours is...
Kaylin. Now, can I please go back to camp?
Would that you could. See, I've been trying to get out of here for several years myself. And with very limited success. So, the answer is
You don't know.
Well, it's not that I don't know.
Your magic isn't strong enough?
No, my magic is very powerful. It's simply...
You're completely clueless.
It's... You are a very aggravating little mortal. Well... What are we going to do with you then?
I don't know. I'm crying.
Take a moment. Take a moment. Okay. He says, I suppose your opinion of demons isn't particularly high.
I didn't really have an opinion on demons until I met you. Never actually encountered one.
Well, you'll be seeing more of us in the near future, what with events being as they are.
Oh no, I have encountered a demon, haven't I? The crazy lady, Raven, whatever her name is.
She's more of a goddess.
Gave me...
Yeah.
And
People tend to distinguish between the two, you know, demon, goddess of the underworld. It's basically a footnote.
He says, yes, my mother is the Raven Queen. She's put that mark on you to get us all out of this mess.
probably a mess that you lot caused. That's just an assumption I'm making from meeting you.
Quite the contrary, little elf girl. Quite the contrary. This problem was formed solely by humans. Killing too many magic users. Now that clandestine organization, they are the ones to blame for this, I would think.
Okay, I can kind of side with you on that one. They aren't exactly nice. I've been chased by them a few times, so...
Well, exactly. And I, being a magic user, am not fond of them either. I sympathize with you. I've been trapped in here for years, you see. It's terribly lonely at times. It's nice to have a stimulating conversation with such a charming young woman such as yourself.
Why, thank you. And she kind of sarcastically curtsies vaguely in his direction.
Well, seeing as you're here, would you, what does humans do? Would you like something to eat? Drink?
Is he still a wolf at this point, by any chance?
There's a wolf in front of you.
Okay, it's like, no, I think I'm alright for food and drink, but I'm curious to see what you look like when you're not a wolf. A pretty wolf, nonetheless. And she strokes his head. She's like,
why, thank you, but I fear that my true form would most likely blind you.
blind me?
Oh, yes, quite literally.
Okay, a slightly more human form then, because talking to a wolf inside my head is really kind of weird.
I'm afraid my options here are limited. I could open my mouth if that would help you. And he kind of opens his mouth every now and then as he tries to speak.
I really like this guy. Not really, but thank you for trying.
Well, come on then, come in. And he goes off into the tower.
I follow.
Okay. So, as you go in, there's like cluttered mess everywhere around in this room. There's like tables and parchments and scrolls and books and stuff. And he goes, excuse the mess, it's been a while since I've had a tidy up. And he kind of looks over towards the table and kind of makes a motion with his head, and all the clutter flies away, and the table is clean. Says, should have a, no, I only have dog bowls around here. Let's skip the drinks for now, shall we?
Kaelin kind of looks around the room at the utter mess.
Wow, thank you for the donation. Solar 16, £6.34. £6.34 from Solar 16. That is
Woo!
Thank you, Lloyd.
far too generous, my friend.
We love you, Lloyd.
We really do. Right, now what is £6.66 plus £6.34? That's the question.
13.
Yeah, 13 something. Or is it exactly 13?
It's just 13.
It's exactly 13.
Almost as if he's going to curse us.
Let me just add this in for you, Solar 16, my friend. £13. What a lovely round number. Let's put a heart by your name as well. You legend. You legend. Right. Getting very close to that website goal now. But yes. Let me just do this. And let me just do this real quick. There we go. So Moldark, says, let's skip the drinks. And he says, tell me about yourself then, I suppose. I've got plenty of time.
So I'm not quite sure what to say. I'm an elf. I am a sorceress.
Do you have a family, little elf?
Yes, but bearing in mind you're a demon who can take over Kai's body at any time.
I can't take over his body. Would that I could.
Oh,
No,
that's a shame.
I'm somewhat...
That'd be really cool if you could.
Well, I'm working on it, but don't tell him.
Of course not. She just kind of shakes her head and... Yeah.
Well, you
Exactly.
see, I'm somewhat limited in my abilities whilst inside this bumbling idiot's brain.
He's not an idiot. He seems rather nice.
Sorry. Yes, he's... Yes, very, very nice. Sorry. This,
You don't need to be so sarcastic now.
not many good jokes up in Kai's brain, other than the brain itself.
Be nice.
Anyway, I suppose you'd wish your little happy family to continue living their little happy lives, wouldn't you?
Yes, that would be rather thoughtful.
I can tell you now that the events in Nilfheim will likely kill them. And if you and Kai and the others fail this, then it's certain, I'm afraid.
But isn't that kind of why we've got the stupid mark on our arm anyway? So we have an incentive other than, families and stuff to actually complete the mission that crazy witch lady sent us on.
Oh yes, yes. Just an added little bonus, really. She's my mother, if you could refrain from derogatory terms. Thank you.
Oh, so your crazy witch mummy sent us on.
Better, I suppose. But not to diminish your abilities, but you don't exactly have much control of your magic. If you're going to survive, better do better than that.
I seem to have control aplenty until I bumped into Kai, or you, whichever one it was.
Both of us. I understand your nervousness, but do you mind if I help you? And I'm only doing this to stop you accidentally teleporting in here again or blowing us both up.
Well, it wouldn't happen again because you said it's near enough impossible for me to get out. So that's...
Well, assuming we get you out of here, so I have an idea of how to get you out.
Is it going to involve you eating my soul?
No. Nothing so crass. Simply Kai allowing me to devour several souls.
I've got a funny feeling he's probably not going to let you do that.
Well, perhaps if
He
I
seems
tell
to
him that
have
you're
a
here...
fondness for being alive.
No. If Kai lets me eat other people's souls that he's killed, gives me a bit more energy.
But sure, doesn't that then give you more power?
Yes, to get you out of here.
But
Isn't
it
that
wouldn't
what you
just
want?
enable you to get me out of here, would it?
Yes, I am afraid myself and Kai are inexorably linked for the foreseeable future. A few souls here and there aren't really going to help me.
But in theory, if he let you eat enough souls, preferably not mine, then even so you still couldn't get out of here?
No, I couldn't get out of here. That would require a powerful exorcism by a very powerful mage. Therefore, it's in my interests for all of you to survive being magic users. So that one
So
day, I might get out.
Nilfheim or whatever it is doesn't it overload?
Exactly. If Kai dies, it's very possible that I might as well.
Would that be a bad thing?
Why,
You
I
know,
would
being
think
a
so.
demon, and I know you would, but what about for everyone else?
Well, all I want to do, Caitlin, is get out of here. All
And
I
what
want...
would you do once you're out of here,
Well,
other than
I'd
eating
go
people's
back.
souls and...
I'd go back home, of course, to where I live, with my family. I have a family too, you know. My mother. She misses me terribly.
Crazy witch lady.
Yes, crazy witch lady. I have a brother as well, and around 10 million or so cousins, some of which are entering Atonica. It's good to see them again, actually.
It can't be that good to see them, bearing in mind you know we're going to kill them.
Well, it doesn't mean that I'm fond of them all. Indeed, I like to feast upon most of their souls when I can, but it's still good, you know. Family reunions.
You're sick, you know that, right?
He kind of cocks his head.
Feasting on your family's souls.
Oh, yes. I mean,
That's not
I mean, I
normal.
wouldn't feast upon their souls. I'd very fond of them. Strong family links.
With your couple of thousand cousins. I know what it's like to have a big family. You're not that close to all of them.
Exactly.
Doesn't make it right.
Listen, Kaylin, you and I are from different planes of existence. The rules are different where I come from.
Then enlighten me.
There are very few rules where I come from.
But rules nonetheless.
Yes, you are subservient to our mother. Although at the moment that's somewhat changed. I remain loyal, however.
To who? The body that keeps you alive or your mother?
Kai and I have an agreement. I keep him alive, he keeps me alive. It's in my interest to let him live.
So
I won't
that
pretend.
doesn't answer my question. Who are you loyal to?
My mother. And to myself. Thank you, Blue Whoop, for following my friend, and hello, Forever Player. Good to see you guys. And hello, Boy Harkin. Yes, Modoc says, I won't pretend that my intentions aren't greedy and self-centered, but sometimes it requires that to get things done. Wouldn't you agree?
It depends on what the circumstances are and the consequences.
What about the end of the world and all life?
I might be able to deal with that.
Well, like I say, if you wouldn't mind me simply laying a paw upon you, I promise there'll be no soul interaction or devouring. You're my only friend here.
No. She pats him on the head again, kind of tussles his fur.
He kind of puts his paw towards you, upwards.
She steps back a little bit, probably not as much as she should.
Says, just a paw. Once you get out of here, you won't be able to come here again. Should control you a bit.
What exactly are you going to do?
Yeah, how academically learned are you?
Could be a lot better, could be a lot worse.
Well, I'm going to cut the magical tether which has appeared between the two of us. Somewhat erratically, by neither of our doings. Your magic reached out and touched mine. We are linked. I will simply break that link. If I were a pernicious and evil demon, then I would use that link to enter your mind and devour your soul.
How do I know you already haven't?
You're going to have to trust me. How does your soul feel today?
Not eaten.
Exactly. So, if you wouldn't mind.
Oh god, my dad's here again. Go on then, just make sure it doesn't hurt.
It won't. He reaches out a paw, puts it on your arm, and you feel a strange prickling on your skin, and then nothing. And he takes his paw away. See, that wasn't so bad, was it?
I was expecting a lot more, or something more, you know, flashy.
Can't
Rather
please.
disappointed.
Well, anyway, we demons aren't all so bad, and at the moment Kai has made it clear you arrive alive to help us. In fact, and he pauses if he's thinking. No, you'd probably think it was a terrible idea.
Think what was a terrible idea?
I was just thinking, what with that family of yours in danger and some rather upset cousins of mine, Thank you for following, French Nuts. I was just thinking, what if I said I could help you even more than that small, paltry magic I just performed? I'm an incredibly powerful demon, you see, but I can only work through mortals whilst on Atonica. In exchange for increasing your abilities, you could help me out here.
And how would I do that? She scowls.
Well, I don't want to stay in here any longer. It's very boring, you see. In order to go home, I need some power. I gain this power by taking the energy from the fallen. Bandits, demons, slavers, all sorts of bad people. We could create a link to Kai's mind, and therefore this plane, that whenever you kill, I could feed off of their energy. There would be no mind or soul interaction between the two of us, as delightful as I'm sure that would be. No risk to you. I wouldn't dare interfere. What do you think?
I'm not sure. I might have to run that one by Kai. What does he think of the idea?
I could speak to him if you'd like.
Would you be able to tell him I'm kind of a little bit stuck in here?
Yes, I would do that.
Then, I'd be interested to hear what he thinks of your little idea.
Okay, then. Well, I'm going to need some more souls and power before I can speak to him properly and get him here. So, you might have to make yourself comfortable.
Got any tea?
Tea. What is tea?
She shakes her head and finds somewhere that looks vaguely comfortable to sit.
Okay, cool. So, we're going to cut back to the current time with our other players. So, Duncan and Ulfgar have just gone into the town to try and free some slaves, or just check out the surroundings. Kai has been left on his own where he was sleeping before. There are the corpses of some dead guards around him who they've just murdered. And we're going to cut to Roland.
Hello.
So, quick description of your character, James.
So, Roland. I've got to go into my Facebook messages for this. He's a half-orc. He's got greyish skin. He has he's not the most attractive person, even by half-orc standards. He's got severe burns over one side of his face. He's missing an ear. His hair is like patchy from where it's been burnt. His hair is dyed blue along with his beard. Well, it's kind of old dye. It's kind of weird, bluey black mess. He wears a chain of, not a chain, a string of teeth around his neck and is wearing, as you can see, black splint armor. And he carries some nasty-looking cleavers. And he's got little tusks going on.
Okay.
He's got tattoos and piercings all over his face as well.
Okay, cool. So, you were previously up to your mischief. I won't go into exactly what you're doing. But looking down on your hand, you see the familiar mark of the Raven Queen upon it, which you've been used to now for about the past few weeks. And you have been told by the Raven Queen that you need to find a group of similar adventurers, a similar group of people who are also intent on the same mission as you. And so you've come down below Purg, through the woods of Purg, to find where these people are. You're heading towards Cogdarum, and you're stopping at a nearby town for the night. And as you come through, you see the town. Through some woods, as you're walking towards it, you actually see... actually, roll me a awareness test.
I would love to.
Why don't we do that? Let's have the first roll of the night, and let's hope that it's a crit one, because chat will love that.
It's a 3.
It's a 3. Okay. So as you're...
He's got a helmet on.
Yeah.
He can't see a huge amount.
Thank you, Delinia, for the comment. So as you're walking along, you essentially fall over a man on the ground, and you trip up. And Kai, you get a rude awakening as you've just been stepped on by a very heavy man.
It's a very heavy hawk.
Yeah.
I kind of try and like haul myself to my feet as quickly as possible and look at what I've just fallen over.
It's a half-elf. Josh, would you like to describe Kai again for everyone?
Kai is currently, I feel like he'd sort of almost be sort of in the fetal position. He's taken quite a beating. The right side of his body is heavily tattooed. The left side of his body is covered in scars. So yeah, and he's a half elf. He's got grey/white hair, which is a recent affectation, and he's wearing leather armor, which is so he looks very much like he's had a hard life, and everyone's had a hard life. Yeah, and he's currently just got his pack next to him laid out, but he's very much wondering why someone's just stood on his gut. He's not.
I
particularly...
imagine you're feeling a lot of pain because armor combined, I weigh about 300 pounds.
Yep. So
you fat. Yes.
I'm a lot. I'm a 6'8" orc.
So as you look around, there are actually a lot of dead men around. They look to be guards, murdered with arrows and looks like burn marks and other strange marks upon them.
Okay. Roland would then most likely draw one of his swords and kind of hold it out um, towards this little human thing, humanoid, and just wait to see if he's going to make a move.
Will, how close is like the nearest couple of dead bodies?
A couple of meters away.
I don't particularly want to be run through, so I'm just going to slowly, very, very slowly raise both my hands. So. You're threatening me, but you're the one who just stood on my fucking stomach.
Why the fuck are you sleeping in the middle of the path then?
Look, I've had kind of a rough night.
Well, would you care to explain all the dead men?
What, you need a simple anatomy lesson, do you? What happened was, they were alive, and this thing called death took them, and now they're not alive anymore.
You're very
And
sarcastic.
Senpai is now holding his head, as if he's got a splitting headache.
You're a very sarcastic man for one in such an unfortunate situation.
I've spent half my life in an unfortunate situation. If you don't make a joke every now and again, you don't really get very far.
Can't say I've tried that. Anyway, did you kill these ones?
I look around and I point to. I didn't actually. No, I didn't. I didn't kill any of them. See that one just there, which is the one who's closest to me. He ran me through. I'm pretty sure a couple of the others kicked the shit out of me while I was asleep. So no, I didn't do anything. You know what I did do? I chose to, for some stupid, beyond my comprehension reason, and I hold up my hand because I'm very much pissed off still at Duncan. And is the mark always displayed, Will, or is it the sort of thing that appears? Like,
Yeah,
and I sort of tap that and I say, I got dragged into some pretty shady shit, and now I'm being forced. I'm waving a raven tattoo.
When I see the raven tattoo, I put my sword. It doesn't actually have a sheath. It just hooks onto my belt. It's like a fairly rough cleaver type affair. And I pull off one of my splint mail gauntlets and hold it up to you.
Cool. So I feel like I'd be ranting as you sort of said that. So I've been poured into some pretty shady shit, and I don't actually know who I'm traveling with anymore. And I was quite enjoying living the solitude life, and now I am apparently a servant.
Mid-sentence, I just reach out and hold your face while you're like really animated, and I'm just like, not like I don't choke you. I just like hold. No,
I know.
I just engulf your head
in a very that's a very orc thing to just stop talking with your mouth. Yes. Cool. I just stop.
And and I say, you're the other. So, now to any normal man, this would sound utterly insane, but Raven Queen, Brasso, Cogdaroom, ring any bells?
Oh shit.
Roland puts his gauntlet back on and picks up this half elf. You're like 5'6" or something, aren't you?
No, I'm a little taller, but yeah, I'm nowhere near 6'8".
You're like a foot smaller than me, or thereabouts. Yeah, I kind of just pick you up not particularly roughly, as gently as a half-orc can, and just pick you up and stand you up. And say, well, I was told there would be others.
Oh shit. I mean the little scrawny fucker who kept running away I could deal with, and to be honest, the crazy dwarven bastard, he's doing my head in, but he's an alright bloke, but now orcs, Jesus Christ.
Half orc.
And then I pause and then just sort of say, of course, you realise...
Roland looms, as he
Yes,
says, half
yeah.
orc.
Kai just says, you gotta understand, you just woke me up by kicking me in the stomach, or standing on my stomach, and I've had a really crap night. I nearly died, and, you know, I maybe fumbled my words ever so slightly. I didn't mean no offense by it. Look, I really can't have the shit kicked out of me twice in less than one day. I can't. Fuck me. Do you want a drink? Kai pulls out. Kai carries alcohol. I can't remember what kind of alcohol it is, but Kai doesn't
Whatever
care
it is,
what
Roland,
kind of alcohol it is.
Roland takes it and
Yes.
takes a sip. How does it taste?
It doesn't taste pretty.
Okay, Roland takes a bit more, like a few gulps.
The
and
less
then hands
pretty,
it-
the better.
And then hands it back to you.
It's a potatoey sort of. It's almost like nail polish remover. It could be. I want to call it Zodka or Vodka, vodka maybe. Kai
Ethanol.
downs. Kai invents vodka. Yeah, Kai drinks about half the skin. Shakes his head, and as if appraising Roland for the first time, says, "I'm Kai," and puts his hand out really enthusiastically because he recently learnt a new hand gesture.
Okay, your hand is engulfed by a half orc's splint mail hand. I imagine it's probably a little bit painful.
Yeah.
You're given your current
Kai's
physical state.
just drank half a big skin of vodka, or 5e vodka, whatever we have here. He doesn't really feel it.
5 Edka.
Yes, indeed. So yes, and then I so let me guess. Raven Queen decides to completely shit on your day from an almighty height, and has roped you into some kind of quest with a load of people you can't fucking stand. Is that about the gist of it? Because honestly, I'd love you to shed some light on this.
I haven't even... Well, you're the first person I've met. I'm yet to form an opinion on you. Yes, words to that effect, though.
Don't worry. If we're traveling together, you'll probably find out that I'll probably be killed, and it'll probably be your fault. So don't worry about it. Don't worry about an opinion of me, because to be honest, I couldn't give two shits what anyone thinks of me right now. All I care about is the fact that I can't feel my ribcage at the moment, and I've drank way too much vodka, and I've just realized that there is no one else from my party here, and I have to find an elf who vanished. Have you ever seen an elf vanish into thin air before?
I can't say. I've seen one turn into red mist before. Does that count?
Okay, I imagine you punched them very hard in the face, but that doesn't really count or quantify what I'm trying to get across here, so I have to do some pretty disturbing shit, and you're just gonna have to stand there because I have had a really fucking hard day, and I have to have some answers, and unfortunately I can't talk to the person.
Roland reaches out a hand. What's your max hit points?
It got updated.
Oh, look, I've got your character sheet.
I
But
love
everyone's character sheet.
when James just constantly tries to kill me for no
not.
reason.
Don't worry, he'll run away from
I'm literally laying on hands, you. I kind of cover his mouth with a splint mail hand, and you just feel your wounds, like, heal up.
Wait, what?
I'll tell you how much for in a second, but your hit points have just drastically increased. Will you stop
entire
complaining?
face went.
Will you stop complaining now?
What does it go up by? I'm currently on,
Like a considerable amount, at least 10.
as in temp hit points, or
No, proper hit points. You've just had lay on hands cast on you. I'll
What
find
does,
the exact number, but you're considerably better.
Well, what was my?
at most
Shit,
you've
can
got,
I
like,
just say that takes me up
scratches.
to full health because I've been resting?
Lay on hands.
Okay.
You're, yeah, 10. It's plus 10 HP, so yeah, you just got 10 HP healed back to you.
Will, as I've been resting,
Yes.
can I say that brings me up to full
You
HP?
can give yourself
Or-
spend some hit die. Nice.
Okay, what with what he just cast on me? How many hit points do I have? 11.
You're 11 out of 15.
Okay. So
Cool.
you're 11 out of
I
15.
will.
So you can spend a hit dice to probably get yourself
No,
back
I'll
up.
I'll
Okay.
just leave that. Yes, I am. Cool. I suddenly sort of stagger backwards and
Chat is loving this,
Sure.
by the way.
I was gonna show me on the door where the half orc touched you. Oh god. In my face, all over my face. Yeah. So I sort of reel backwards, and I'm gonna say involuntarily, like some dark sort of lightning sort of crackles between my fingertips, which I very much in a defensive posture, and then realised that apart from all the thousands of scars that I have that are really old, all the new ones are pretty much entirely gone, and then I sort of pick at a scab. But you very much see lightning between my fingertips, or black lightning.
Cool.
Well, Kai, you hear a little voice in your head. It's quite distant, but it's Moldark, and he says, I don't have long because you haven't been feeding me recently, Kai, but Kaylin's in here, so give me some souls, please. She's getting very irritable. Got to go, bye.
I sort of process all that slowly, halfway through worrying a particularly faint bruise, and stare at this orc. So this whole Raven Queen business, is that where your loyalties lie at the moment?
My loyalties lie to myself, and not having my soul remain in her possession. Never much liked it, but I don't like to give things away for free.
Okay, so I have something to run by you. Say, for example, I had a friend. I say friend, someone I just met, and to be honest, I have nothing in common with, apart from the fact that she's probably as hated as I am. She's kind of possibly somewhere pretty
Cut
shitty
to the
right now, and
chase.
if I were to say that I possibly, and I gestured to some of the dead bodies and said, needed to loot these men, what would you say to that?
Do what you want. Your kill, your loot.
Brilliant. Although technically none of them were my kill, but I like your enthusiasm, and I'm just going to take it as blind optimism on your part. And this might creep you out a little bit. Please don't stab me. I've had way too much of that today, and honestly, I'm just flat out of ideas at the moment. So, and Kai walks over, and Kai's not really done this for quite a while. So Kai's gonna sort of. I feel like it would be just for cinematic purpose. It would be fantastic if Kai stood there and sort of did a big sort of, and absolutely fuck all happened, and then he sort of rubs his ring and then sort of maybe touches it against the guy's chest, and suddenly souls just pour down his arm and into his mouth.
Yeah, like a kind of white tendrils kind of come out of this man's mouth and up through Kai's arm, and they they kind of emboss the Raven Queen mark on your hand, and then go into you. And you see this, Roland. Moldark says, that's better.
Well, this couldn't get much weirder.
I turn around to Roland and sort of like, you haven't stabbed me. You are officially my favorite person right now. And I walk over and I continue sort of feeding people. Feeding Moldark.
Perhaps you should drink less.
Cool. I go over and I go over to the next guy and do the same, and basically I go around all of them unless someone interrupts.
Okay, cool. So Moldar kind of enjoys each soul which he gets to devour, and says, "As I said, Kalen's in here. Ooh, there's a new one. Who's he?"
I look up and sort of say, "There's someone who wants to." Jesus Christ, this is complicated. Okay, basically, what is your name?
Me?
I said this to Roland.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, it wouldn't make sense if I said me. Roland.
And I say, like, out loud, his name's Roland, and then realise I'm speaking plainly and
Say it in common.
primordial. Yes, I say it in common first.
Ah. Tell him it's nice to meet him.
And I replied to Moldark, you know, he probably is going to find this really creepy, and this guy has some really nasty looking bastard swords on him, and he's already nearly crushed my fucking ribcage. I'm having a shit day, and if I've really got to go in there and drag someone out of my own fucking mind, I'm not sure I can deal with being stabbed again, so maybe we should cut the chit-chat and shit. He's staring at me, and I'm talking to myself. And then I turn to Roland and say, so, I kind of maybe have a relative of the Raven Queen in my brain, which I understand sounds entirely insane, and I realize I just drank half a skin of
So you're saying you're a warlock?
stuff. Yeah, that's pretty much the short and ugly in it. My heart's just here. Do what you will.
Well, at least it's not Grumsh.
At least it's not what?
Patron of the Orcs. Their warlocks are much worse.
Than a primordial demon.
Some of them. Maybe I'll show you one day.
I sort of cover my mouth slightly and say, Moldark, he's not trying to kill us. What do we do?
Let's bring you all in here, Len. Get this infuriating woman out. Oh, and when you do...
At that, I sort of kind of go,
Can
Wait,
Caitlin hear
whoa.
Moldark saying any of this?
No.
Oh.
So, you blink, Kai, and when you blink, Roland, you guys, when you open your eyes again, there is bright light upon you. You're in what seems to be a very nice village. There is, like I say, there's people dancing, there are children around, there are people working the fields. It's a very idyllic village, countryside village, which you're in. And in front of you stands an elf girl who you recognize to be Kaelin, and a one-eyed white wolf who Kai you would recognize to be Moldark.
Moldark. Okay. Does that mean Roland's here as well?
Yes, Roland is here.
I immediately turn around to Roland and just go, don't freak out. Don't freak out. Everything's going to be fine. This is a happy place.
Is there anything particularly threatening looking in this environment?
No,
or-
it's the least threatening environment you've probably ever seen.
Okay.
Caitlin turns
Essentially,
around to-
imagine like essentially, are we at the village, Will?
Yep.
Yeah. Essentially, imagine like a village, but from like something that just it's so happy and nice. It's just not even realistic. Like the
Hobbiton.
sun. Yeah. The sky
Roland
is just
is
so
immediately
blue.
suspicious,
Yes.
but he doesn't
yes.
actively. He's just standing there looking around. He's not actively doing a huge amount in this
Caitlin wants to
milliseconds.
turn around to Moldark and
Moldark.
Moldark and say,
Moldork.
That's what he got called in primary school.
His high
That's why he's
school
so
nickname.
pissed.
He was bullied.
Caitlin turns around to Moldark and says, how come they get all pretty flowers and happy stuff.
This is Kai's land. Back
I
there's my home. Like I
immediately-
say, the decor here is awful.
I immediately ignore everyone and start looking for people.
Would anyone care to explain what the fuck's going on? Wait, no, I would say it. Would anyone
We
care to
seem to
explain what the
be-
bloody hell is going on?
Kaelin turns to this random green dude
Grey.
and grey dude, whatever, and it's like, we seem to be in Kai's head. I'm not sure why, but you got a much warmer welcome than I did.
I
Now,
immediately
me-
stop looking for people, turn around to Kaylin and point out that, look, I didn't invite you into my head. In fact, I find this a little bit intrusive, the fact that you've just been wandering around in my fucking mind. And I look at Moldog. Has anyone actually ever done this before? I mean, I know we've hung out here, but I don't think we've ever had guests
As
over.
a scholar, and all of you careless in your head, including you, Roland, as a scholar, it has been several occasions of this happening, though it is very rare. Something of a phenomenon.
Have we ever had this happen?
No.
Did you tidy up?
Told you I'll...
Oh, for fuck's
I'll,
sake.
I'll do it next week.
Jesus
Doctor.
Christ.
Not to interrupt this little domestic. Kai, is it... How do we leave?
I've been trying for weeks. Whatever your name is, yeah,
Probably
Roland.
days. Probably days.
days, not weeks.
I-
But yes, Roland, yes, I've been trying for days. It doesn't look like we're going anywhere.
Well,
I,
there's always a
uh,
way out.
Well, as
Well,
I explained
yeah.
to Kaelin a million times, now that they're here, they can get back out again through Kai, seeing as it is his mind. Jesus, don't
In
you guys
that case,
read?
can I leave? Because I have been stuck in this hellhole of Kai's brain for days, and you are driving me insane.
Yes.
Roland's done a bit of reading. Can I roll some sort of check, like Arcana or History or something,
Roll
to
an
see if...
Arcana for this, yeah.
Where do skills go? That's Kaelin's character sheet.
Delinear says, Moldark, gentleman and scholar. Shit at chores.
I rolled an 18.
At 18, you would have heard of demon possession before, although you don't know the intricacies of it, but you realise that it's a thing which happens.
Bother.
Kai is going to sort of. I know everyone's sort of like, can we leave now? But Kai has spotted some people and is wandering over.
Okay. Some farmers.
Cool. And I wander over, and I don't know. I'm rubbish at coming up with names of people, but I would know these people.
Samuel,
Give me some.
Arthur, and their little
Pippin.
adopted daughter, Maria.
Okay.
As
I,
they
uh,
see you,
they're
they
a
instantly
homosexual
drop to their knees. And bow their heads.
Kai just immediately is like, Samuel, we've been friends since I was. Well, since before I was. You know, just you don't have to bow to me. How many times do I have to tell you guys?
Yes, my
Look,
lord.
we're friends. Oh, enough with the my lord. Look, I explained 101 times. It's please don't bow. It makes me feel really awkward. And
Of course, my lord.
I'm not.
And they stand up.
Roland is suddenly directly next to you, Kai, and just says again, not to interrupt this domestic, but I didn't walk across the entire country to hang around in your brain. You demon, how do we leave?
Well, as I was explaining, I'll give Kai some of my energy, and he'll be able to get you all out of my head.
Get on with it then.
Yes, first, though, I am Kaelin. Would you like to speak to Kai about our agreement?
I thought you were going to speak to Kai about our agreement.
Well, okay, I will then. And he turns to Kai and says, I was thinking about having a similar arrangement as to you and I. She gives me the souls of the fallen, and I in return give her some of my power. Tell her how great it is, and I'm not going to be invading her soul.
Kai gives Kaelin a very, very dark look. Says, it's a very quick way to get a lot of power, but there's always a cost. Doesn't matter how many times. Doesn't matter how many times that whatever it is granting you the power says that they're doing it for no benefit of their own.
No,
or...
I'm doing it for a benefit of my own. I fully accept that.
At the end of the day, it comes down to, can you live with yourself?
Yes. Oh, right. Can you live with yourself, Kaelin?
Is it going to give me the power to stop this crazy witch bitch from killing everything and saving my family?
Quite possibly, yes.
No.
I wasn't talking to you, Moldark.
Well, how would he know?
Because
I
he's
look
dealt
at
with
Moldark
it.
and say, because out of the two of us, I'm the one who had to deal with the fucking consequences of everything you put us through.
Well, you haven't exactly been giving me many souls recently, so how am I supposed to do that?
I feel like Kai would probably punch Moldark at this point.
He can certainly
In
try.
fact, Kai is
punch the
going to
wolf.
punch Moldark at this point.
Animal
Me.
abuse, cool Peter.
Indeed. The demon made me do it. How do you even, what do I even roll to punch a wolf in the face? I feel like that wasn't factored in
I
finally.
assume your roll it's a strength roll. Basic strength roll.
Okay, give me unos momentos. Do I just roll a strength save then?
Yeah.
Yep.
You rolled a nat 1.
You rolled a nat 1.
You're just so shit.
So the moment you...
I rolled... No, I didn't.
Yeah, you did. We said the
Well,
one
That's
on
not
the
not a
nat
left.
nat one.
We take the one on the left.
Well, how did
That's
you
not
achieve
a nat
it?
one.
How
Did you
achieve
achieve?
one? Unless you have a minus.
I've got a minus. Yeah.
Okay.
I have a minus modifier.
Okay,
Curses.
so as you go to punch Moldark, you connect with him and your hand comes away stinging. Please, we've been through this, Kai.
Kai looks a mixture of angry and upset. And turns
You're not the most
to-
utilitarian half-elf, are you?
Um,
Demon, can we, cut to the chase? We have a, involuntary quest to perform.
Yes, little mortal. I've got important business to do.
I kind of look at him when he says little and kind of just let it slide. He's a demon. I don't want to die.
So, Kaelin, what I'm offering you is not the power to immediately make everything right. But, over time, to help you survive situations and get this quest done.
Kai? She just kind of looks at him.
You know it's the right thing to do, even if it's not the easy thing to do.
I'm not talking to you.
Nor was I.
Kai looks back at the village and yeah, Kai has a very poignant single tear, and because he's poignant like that, and says to sort of whispers towards the village, "I'm sorry," and then just lets Moldark, I feel like Moldark would know when I'm sort of letting my guard down, letting him do his thing.
Okay. So, you're just going to let him kind of go at it?
Yeah.
Okay. He says, thank you, but first, Kaelin.
She just kind of nods and at Moldark.
Good.
And she turns to Kai and says, "Look, I'm not doing it for the power. I'm doing it to save my family and stop whatever shit is happening here from kind of...
Kai very quietly whispers back, be careful it doesn't cost you your family. And says no more.
That's what I'm trying to save.
Very touching.
Moldork,
Who invited this guy?
Moldork,
It's catching.
it's catching. He walks over to you, Kaelin, and he puts his paw up to your arm, again where the raven tattoo mark is, in fact. And you feel tendrils of this dark magic working their way from his paw up into your very chest, and it's very cold. And as his paw breaks away, you can still sense his presence with an almost sixth sense. You can just feel that he's nearby, and the power which is clearly radiating off of him. And he says, "Well then, let's get you out of here." And he turns to the village, and he looks back at Kai and says, "You might want to look away."
Kai very, very slowly turns and balls his fists up.
Okay. And he pads away again and turns one last time to the group of you and says, "Oh, cover your ears."
I cover my ear.
And Kaelin covers her ears.
Okay. So he goes to look to the village and all these happy villagers walking around the town, and then he looks upwards with his one wolfen eye, and up from the sky darkens and then turns red and then turns yellow as a gigantic comet begins to fall from the sky. And it works its way downwards, spiraling as it goes down into this village, and it meets with a gigantic impact. All of you are thrown off of your feet. Take d4 damage. All of you roll a d4, as you are kind of literally thrown by the force of this explosion.
I take 4 damage.
Cool. And the comet, like I say,
4 damage.
explodes into this village, and immediately everything is on fire and burning. And then he opens his mouth wide, and thousands of these white tendrils, similar to the ones that were seen, that Roland, you saw Kai taking from the guard, go into his mouth, and he swallows them all. And as he turns back, and the village is still flaming, you guys are all on your feet, he turns around, and the wolf is suddenly much, much larger. He's probably about the size of a human at this point. And you're all kind of thrown to your feet.
Kai is essentially just broken down into tears.
Kaelin feels kind of sorry because she thinks it's all kind of a little bit her fault, but doesn't quite know how to go up and comfort him.
Bucket. Whoop, boop, boop, boop. So are we
Awkward
going
silence
now?
ensues.
Is Will still here?
Yep.
Cool. Okay.
Demon?
Just
He's just looking at all of you. And he walks up to Kaelin and Kai, and between one after the other he puts his paws on you and says, "My side of the agreement." And the two of you are infused with more of his dark energy, And this, in fact, is what takes you up to level 2. You feel much more powerful and alive and whole again. Kai, you're taking up to 4 hit points if you're not already. You feel invigorated. As is everyone else. As is Kaelin. Roll, you still obviously have a damage. And he says, Olin, Kai, you should have the ability to get them all out of here.
Kai summons some Eldritch lightning into his hand, and is glaring at Moldark fiercely. And one of Kai's eyes has turned sort of glassy. In fact, no, sorry, both of his eyes have turned sort of glassy and sort of. I can never. How would you describe that? It's sort of like that sort of milky white.
Glazed over?
Roomy.
Yeah, sort of.
Thank you for swallowing Sword Nut TV.
Did you say
Thank you very
for
much.
swallowing?
No, I did not say that. But
It
I'd
sounded
always
like you
thank
said that,
those
but
who-
cool.
Chat, can you confirm?
Yes.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yes. So and then I will just I will vanish, and I hopefully will take Kaelin with me.
Okay. You guys blink, and you're back in the campsite, surrounded by the bodies of these guards.
Do we feel arrested?
You don't. The other two feel brilliant, though.
Kaelin stretches, like, as if being stuck in Kai's brain has been really cramped. And she's finally able to stretch out and get some non-brain fresh air.
Roland says, right, shall we off?
Kai would like to blow up the nearest tree with lightning.
Cool. He does so.
Very, very angrily. And he then, calms and sort of mutters under his breath to Moldark, "Are you still there?"
Oh yes, alive and kicking.
Well, now we've got that through, and believe me, I won't forget that in a hurry. Which way are we going?
He pauses for a moment and says, "Oh, yes. You better go quick."
Which way?
Anyway, away from the town. I sense a lot of my brothers and sisters near our body.
I
Run.
immediately turn to the other two and say, "We need to leave right now. There are demons coming."
Cool. Roland just nods, puts his helmet on, and starts running the direction of Cogdarum. So I think it's south. Basically the opposite of the way that he came into the town.
Okay.
Yeah, that's...
Kaelin, are you
I'm
running
heading
or are you
south as
walking,
well.
are you?
Yes, I'm running.
Okay.
'Cause
So, as behind you, in awesome fashion, you guys are running away from an explosion, like all badass people. So as you run, the town behind you erupts very similarly to the time that you met the Raven Queen, and the time which also runs you met the Raven Queen. It erupts in green cataclysmic energy and magic, which begins to devour this entire town. And as you kind of look back, the sky is lit green, and you are covered in green light, and there's electric feeling in the air. And as you look over your shoulders as you're running away from this, you see thousands upon thousands of these flying demon creatures, which you've seen before. They come up through this magical conduit which has appeared in the town, and they enter the sky and immediately begin seeking out all life. We've entered a skill challenge. Huzzah! So everybody roll me initiative.
Cool. Yeah.
Could we possibly
Kaelin's not
take
got a
a
token.
quick break before we enter the skill challenge?
That's okay, yeah.
21
Awesome.
initiative.
Cool. Can't have a
I-
D&D session without
20?
20.
I don't have a token.
Yeah, Kaylin
Let
doesn't have a
me-
token.
Let me give that to you.
I can do it if you want.
There you go. You have a token. But yes, we could take a 5-minute break if you need to, Beth.
Awesome, thank you. I shall
I
just
will
roll my
also
initiative.
take a
quickly.
moment.
Say hint or
Yes.
chat. How's it going,
Yes.
Sword Nut TV? Good to see you, my friend. Hashtag Necrotree, you have been warned. Solar 16.
Hey guys, thank you for joining me in my brain. It was an adventure until some people who came into my brain uninvited got the whole place blown up.
Just
No
to let you
biggie.
know, chat. We are there are going to be some Thursdays where we don't have all the people we need, and therefore we won't be doing the D&D 5e session. It's only the Mondays that, as a group, we've guaranteed that we'll all always be free for. So sometimes, for example, Beth might not have been there on Thursday. She's going to be here on Thursday, but be away. And for any of you familiar with the West Marches, from Amy JP and Silent Osiris, and Beth, please mute your microphone. There is the idea of an open world kind of campaign where players can come and go. It's kind of been well explored even before the West Marches, and there is going to be one on this channel. I'll be GMing it. We'll all have, well, all the other players will have characters in it, and every now and again we'll bring in someone from the chat, and they will have a character. They may well come back and forth. Their character will remain in the world, and yeah. So because of this, we are opening. Well, we've already got our email. We've got Encounter Q&A, which I'll put in the chat. Here we go. That's in the chat. EncounterQA@gmail.com. As I said in the chat earlier, anyone who would like to be considered to be in that at some point, you're not like guaranteeing yourself or anything, but if you just want to chat about it, see what kind of the deal is.
Keldor, good to see you, my friend.
Yeah, hey Kelda. Send an email to encounterqa@gmail.com. All I need is your date of birth and bank card information and
Social security number would help.
yes, national insurance, you filthy yank. Yeah, I need your date of birth and your Skype name, and I will
The fact that I have a
give you an
webcam
ad.
would be very nice.
Yeah, if you have a webcam, that's ideal. Not necessarily required, but preferable,
It would
just
be-
because
it would very
we-
much help your application.
we want to look at you.
Yes, we do. We definitely do.
As
Of
we
course, guys, what ideas have we got for the names of our zombies down here? We need some names, guys. I saw some earlier. They're too far up the chat. Decide now. Yes, and once again, thank you to Sword Nut TV for a shout out on his Sword Nut Radio podcast. They've got a D&D podcast. Pretty cool. I listened to an episode, and it was good, and I liked it. So apparently we've been shouted out on there. Go and check those guys out. In return, it's the least we can do. And of course, if you want to find a D&D game, go to steelborn.com. That's the Steelborn Legionnaires, and you can find a great D&D game for you guys.
And if any of you guys are looking for roleplay books, if you want to start your own campaign, for example, I've been purchasing the Dungeon World, Apocalypse World, and Numenera rules over the last week. Head on down to Drive-Thru RPG. You can find their link
Yes,
at the bottom of
indeed.
the description and all over the place. We get a small cut of anyone who buys anything from them. After having gone through our website. So yes, if you want to get some rules, don't pirate them and don't buy them anywhere else.
Yes.
Buy them from Drive-Thru RPG.
We want to see you, Cap.
Harkin Apocalypse World is happening. There's going to be a one-shot for it at some point. And there's also going to be the campaign for it, either after this one or after the one after this one. And I'm going to go quickly urinate.
Brilliant.
Hashtag urinate for Ted.
Wow. So one zombie has been named Stinky. Thank you, Delineate, for that link to Steelborn. Brilliant website. We love those guys. They love us.
We do love those guys. They are really awesome.
Beth, we
By
can't
the
see
way,
your
it's back.
face at the moment. There you go.
There you go.
Brilliant.
Sorry.
That's right.
Just getting comfortable.
That's quite alright. First zombie's been named Stinky.
Awesome. There was a couple of, I can't remember who put them up earlier. There's a couple of names came up.
Black Paper Sky, Mrs. Ted. We all do. We all do. Hopefully he'll be back soon. I can't guarantee that he will. It's, real life stuff comes first. unfortunately. So I know Kildor, so quick update for you guys who didn't hear earlier. Ted has had to leave the show for the foreseeable future because of personal issues. Something's come up. Obviously I won't go into exactly why because it's private. But Ted is unable to be here on Monday, and we wish him all the best in the world, and there's always going to be a place for him down there next to Stinky and the other zombie.
Who Sword Nut TV thinks we should call Erg.
Erg.
Erg. I like it.
Yes, but yes, Ted
Hello.
will hopefully be joining us again. The other zombie, Bob, second over Harkins, Rottenkrantz, and Guldenstern. I like the Stern. Nature.
Stern.
I do
Stern
like the Stern nature.
Saxon.
What do we think? Cortex and Loeb, Rottenkrantz and Guldenstern. We've got a
I
Stinky.
like Rottenkrantz and
Okay.
Guldenstern, to be honest.
Lots of people like Gulden. Sword Nut TV Ted is in my basement. Damn it! God damn it, Sword Nut. Always stealing Ted from me, you bastard. Gulden. I can't spell. Stern. Is Chet happy with that?
Chat does seem to be happy with that.
Okay, I live to please.
Although Harkin wants it to be called Loeb, and so does Nix.
Oh, guys, you've got to make your mind up here.
Why don't we just add a third zombie to make them happy? One
that's-
sitting on top of the box?
Don't give them ideas. Don't give them ideas, Biff.
This is
Sorry.
sometimes enough
By the
zombies.
end of the night,
Me.
it will literally be covered in zombies.
Much like Josh's rotten corpse when the apocalypse happens.
Indeed, yes.
For those of you that missed that.
Yes, Rotten Pants. Yes, for those of you that missed that, we played one shot. The end of the world zombie apocalypse games of the players playing their real life. Josh didn't do too well.
Josh is going to die.
Josh has been scratched by a zombie.
Which, funny enough, it's quite ironic because he does run zombie apocalypse sessions for a living. So you'd
Just
think he'd be quite good at
They're
it.
real zombie apocalypse sessions with real zombies.
Yes.
Oh,
He,
someone
came,
says
he
Stinky,
came home with a black eye the other week. It was quite fun.
someone says Stinky could die and be raised as a lobe. Is that a popular idea, chat?
Loeb does seem to be
People like lobe.
quite... Because it is brain-related, as Harkin pointed out.
That is true. Let's give him a lobe.
Is
I like
anyone?
that love.
Is Josh alive?
I don't know.
Josh, he's disappeared into his potato.
Josh has become entirely potato.
He's got so much carbohydrate in him.
I rolled initiative 11, by the way.
Brilliant.
It's because you fucking
'Cause they
low
suck.
scrub.
But Stinky can gnaw on his arm. And then add in left shark for good measure. Okay, we'll swap them round, Harkin, because the names are too long. That works better. There we go. Are we happy, chat? Alright, Delinia. Thanks for
Goodbye,
coming along.
Delinia.
We'll see you on Thursday if you're being around
Bye,
for
Dylan.
D&D, and or next Monday if you can only make that. But there you go.
And I will be in an all-new and improved location on Thursday.
Ooh, exciting.
I'm house sitting for my cousin, so Thursday and Monday I shall be somewhere else.
Excellent.
We have a live Josh.
Hello, Neosonics. Welcome to the adventure. You've come back at just the perfect time as the adventure is beginning once again after a quick break.
Hello there.
I do remember Mr. Stinky for an Acquisition Incorporated game. I do, actually. That was
Stinky.
very good. DMing for the Stillborn. Well, there you go, Linear. Don't worry, my friend. We've always got you on Monday. So, we have just entered a skill challenge with the boys. It is Roland going first.
Hello. Right. So, as this kind of starts happening, Roland's just going to use his kind of quick nature, or like athletic nature, to just bolt as fast as physically possible, kind of carrying his weight with his armor, clanging along at the front of the group.
Okay, so what roll are you going to make for that?
A 25 in athletics.
Okay. Cool. That is a success.
Have I gone into orbit? The 25, I feel like I deserve to.
You haven't quite gone into orbit. You haven't quite gone into Kai's mind again. But you start to immediately pace your way through. We've actually lost Josh. Let's get him back. Be back in a moment. But for now, yes, you start running. Immediately the group sees you pelting away off into the distance, whilst these demons from on high begin to surround you guys and follow you. Josh appears to have become entirely potato.
On it. Take vest.
Yeah, so Kalen.
He's back. Josh was back.
He's gone. Oh, he's gone. So Kalen, take your turn, whilst.
Would I possibly be able to roll a perception to see what the fuck is going on?
You certainly could.
Oh, 'cause she hasn't seen these yet, has she?
Indeed.
15.
Okay, with a 15 as a success, you see that the these creatures above you flying down towards you and around you are clearly demonic in nature. They are like massive harpy creatures with leathery wings and beaks, and as one flies close towards you, you can see that it has no eyes. It's in fact, it's got blind eyes. In fact, it does have eyes. They're just kind of like, there are no pupils or actual eye.
Kind of
It's just
milky
the
looking.
holes. Yes. So there you go. That is a success, and we're going to go back to Kai, seeing as you're back, Josh. You are muted, Josh.
Sorry about that, guys.
That's right. It is your turn. Roland's just start running away, and Kaelin's running and looking at these creatures.
Yep. Bugger it, oldies but goldies. I am going to try and sort of summon the essence of Moldark around me to sort of scare off some of the closer ones. I'm not really sure what form that would take. I feel like that might come down to Moldark. I'm not sure how he'd be able to. I don't know if it'd be like a flaring up of magic. Maybe I could burst into flames or something.
Yeah, that sounds cool.
Maybe that would be incredibly dangerous. But
No, you can
but
go.
hey,
You can burst into flames.
Yeah.
You can describe it.
I feel like this could be very dangerous for me. Oh, I just rolled the wrong skill. Sorry, I do apologise for that.
And again.
There we go. There we go. 18. Finally,
Okay,
I got there
brilliant.
eventually.
That is a success. So you burst into flames, and these creatures shy away from you and start making horrific noises as they back away as they're trying to get at you. Taking it back to Roland's turn.
See, I want to just continue running.
Okay, so think of something which happens.
Yes. I guess, because we're not running on a path, are we? We're just running...
You're
are we running on
through, You're running
Are we
through
running
woods
through
at
woods?
this point, yeah.
Okay, to avoid absolutely wrecking myself on nature, I will use acrobatics. As a very acrobatic 6'8" armor-wearing paladin, I will try and nimbly step my way between like roots and vine and other such trip hazards, basically.
Okay.
And watch me fail! Ooh, 14.
14. That is a success.
Jeezy crazy.
Yeah, so you come into like a bunch of kind of viney, rooty areas in the woods, and you manage to avoid falling and tripping to your possible death, as you would be devoured by flying creatures. Kai, you burst into flames. These things are trying to shy away from you.
Oh god. Could I would there be a way of sort of I don't know, almost like projecting sort of the flames outward in sort of like a humanoid outline?
Yeah, you could roll an Arcana check.
Essentially, yeah. Yeah, that's essentially what I want to do. I don't know if it would be Arcana or Deception, because I'm essentially trying to like
Yeah, if it's magical,
give
it'd
them
be
something to
Arcana.
chase. Yeah, it would be. Yeah, okay, cool. 15.
15 is a success, so flames burst out at these creatures, and they are engulfed, and you have a moment's respite. So Kaelin, you figured out these guys are definitely demons, and there's a lot of fire around you now.
Oh dear.
Indeed.
Could I roll... basically, what I'm thinking is that Kai's flamingness has caught fire to one of the birdie things, and it's chasing me and getting scarily close and on fire. And I want to use athletics to sidestep it and let it go head on into a tree.
Okay. Or you could, as Sword Nut TV suggests, cast level 9 spell. Someone else's problem. That might work. Unfortunately, it's not at your...
Yeah,
Command
can
at
I
this
stick with my idea?
Yeah, for now.
11.
11 is not a success.
Do I sidestep into a tree?
Yes, that's a good idea. So you're trying to get away from him. You'll get backed up against a tree, and it starts to claw at you. And Roland, you see this. She's
I
being
do.
pressed by a demon, which is on fire.
Yes. Roland, seeing this, just goes, "Well, bloody amateurs," and he's getting more British as the session goes on. As I
hell, Jeff.
reach my comfort zone of British orc, and Roland turns around and runs, screaming and flailing. And I'd just like to roll a sword attack, if that's okay.
You could roll me something to do with strength. You'd have to
Well,
actually use a skill.
I can do athletics
Yeah.
because that was used last turn, and I'm going to basically swing at it.
Okay. Solar 16 says revenge of the trees.
12.
A 12. That is not a success.
Bloody.
You start to cut that one down, but more of them start appearing to you.
That's not good.
Yes, upon you. You guys are starting to get a bit bogged down. So, Kai, you've gotten rid of some of them, and as you run into the woods, you see that these guys are getting pinned down by several flaming demons. You're muted again, Josh.
Sorry. I find myself in a very odd position where I don't absolutely hate and resent the people I'm with. In fact, the orc has not tried to stab me, which is...
And healed you, for that matter.
Yes, he has. And got sucked into my brain and was pretty okay about it, in fact. I mean, not
Oops.
as okay as you can be. So,
I mean,
Kai
why not just-
feels unusually like he should probably help these people out. So, I'd essentially like to sort of, I don't know, outwardly project. I'm doing a lot of outward projecting, but I want to make myself look like a tasty soul meal of just, hello, you know,
Performance.
I've got one of your brothers over here, and I'm delicious. And
Okay.
as I'm sort of doing now, I want to run like hell and hope they give chase, and then I want to give them the slip.
Okay.
So I want to run into the woods with them chasing me and then double back.
I'd imagine it's a performance because athletics has been used.
I've got performance, deception, or stealth.
Performance. Every day.
Yes? Okay.
Yep.
19.
Okay, 19 is a
I'll buy that for $1.
You shall indeed.
Yes, I like actually that suggestion. I would like to talk demon to my demon family and basically call them all the names under their sun.
Okay, cool. So that makes it Caelin's turn.
I would like to use Arcana, if possible, and
2D.
shoot some pretty whitey bluey lightningy stuff from my fingers at the bitches.
Okay. Give it a roll.
Oh god, really? 11.
Oh,
11.
It's not a nat one.
That is not a success.
I figured.
So as you try to do that, you're still getting attacked by these guys, and you can't concentrate enough to get off your magic, making it Roland's turn.
So whilst he's kind of turned and continued running, now that I assume this one flaming thing has found its way away from.
Yeah,
Thingy.
that one's been
Yeah.
cut down essentially.
So Roland, while he's running, whilst not a religious half-orc, he has, due to things in his history, he does have some religious knowledge, and he would like to think back to the waffling old preacher from his home place of undisclosed nature,
His home planet.
his home planet of Zorg, to see if he can remember any sort of weakness that if he's ever heard anything about, I know, hit it with a kipper, those kind of weird.
Okay.
He's just not heard of anything.
A 10. That is not a success.
I'm really good at combat, which you'd think would be useful,
Yeah.
but I won't let me roll it.
You don't know what's going on there. But you
Absolutely
can,
no
you can
idea.
roll athletics, you can roll anything which you can describe as being in combat, but you can't actually, we're not in a combat. We're in a skill challenge, which is something entirely
It's okay.
different.
I'll flame you for that later,
Okay,
off stream.
right. So that takes it to Kai's turn.
Okay, if I gave him the slip, I'd like to essentially roll stealth to get back to everyone without drawing attention. Have I sort of led a majority amount of them away on a 19?
You've led some way.
Cool. I would like to get back to trying to help people.
Nix, we are
Quietly.
rated as mature content.
That's a 20.
A 20.
It is indeed.
That is a success. So you give these guys the slip. Most of them kind of fly off in another direction. They've possibly found another source of souls. And you can slip back to join the other guys, if that's what you want to do. Yes. Let the fanfic flow. Oh dear.
It'll be
Ross.
on our new show on Thursday night. Kai After Dark.
It's
Special
Encounter
guest
roleplay.
include Moldark.
Too hot for TV.
encounter erotic roleplay.
Oh, I like that Kai After Moldark. Oh god.
Wow.
Going to kill you all and then myself.
So it takes it to Kaylin. Your turn.
Would I be able to roll?
No.
Okay.
Rip.
I'm just not going to roll. This is going to fail epically, but I kind of don't know what else to do.
Okay. I like the sound
What's
of it.
there you go.
Well, that is going to fail epically.
Can
I like it.
I roll an
Someone else.
athletics
Yes, you can roll
to
athletics.
randomly swing my rapier around and hope that it hits a couple of them?
Okay. You randomly
Nope.
swing with your rapier, but unfortunately, with your
It's a
random
tree.
swings, you only manage to slice a few branches of a tree. And with that, you have failed the skill challenge.
What, as a
Dun,
group?
dun, dun. Yeah, the group, you have failed your skill challenge. Too many
Okay.
failures. So
Sorry, guys. Trees got in the way.
it was the trees all along. The trees are, in fact, conspiring against you, as we all know. Hello, Death by Donut. It's so good to see you, my friend.
Hello, chum.
Once again, good to see you, matey. The trees are still attacking. So you fail the skill challenge. Kai comes back to the group as Kaylin is essentially flailing away at some of these guys, and it appears that Roland is also struggling. You guys come along, and you realise that you need to bolt for it, essentially. And as you do, you're taking a lot of wounds. You're being pretty much bodily attacked by these guys as you realise that if you don't run, you're going to get killed. You've been-
As we run,
Go ahead.
can I quickly cast Shield of Faith? It's a bonus action, so I can just do it as I run.
Sure thing. That's okay, Death by Donut. That's okay. Sword Art TV failed a challenge, but made a nice shrubbery. That's always a win. That's always a win in my book. So you guys run through the forest, and eventually you manage to get rid of these guys and kill them as you go. But you have all taken. Let's do some rolling. Rolling.
The purpose of casting Shield of Faith is +2 AC, so I assume I can justify some slightly lower damage.
I'll give you -1 damage. So you take. Oh, that's very low. 4. You take 3. Everyone else takes 4. Shrubbery.
Despite the fact that Kai did phenomenally well in that, it's just everyone else held him back.
I only have one good skill, man.
It's alright. No, in all seriousness,
There's no constitution-based
James, you've gone
skills, so I just can't do anything.
Go ahead.
seriously, James, you've gone from being my least liked person to actually my favourite person in the party.
Thanks.
Shots fired. Take cover, everybody.
Get
I'm very disappointed in you guys. So
okay.
you guys get rid of them, and as you break away at last, you come out of the woods of south of Perg, and you actually come out onto a large plains area. Beyond you sprawl huge expanses of land. In the distance, you can see a large city which looks like it's been out of granite, which stands tall in the sky. You can just about see a huge city in the sky. It's somewhat covered by clouds, but the green magic lighting from behind you in the distance of a town appears to be lighting the sky. And you can make out some kind of flying city up there. It's hard to make out, as I say. It's covered in clouds and stuff, but it looks like almost like tiny insects from this distance seem to be surrounding the city. And at this point, daybreak is just about breaking, and so the sun is shining off of it. The plains here clearly once were part of this forest, but they have been subject to a lot of deforestation, it would seem, and now only stumps exist where these trees once stood. It's a bit like you've seen the March of the Ents when they come out and all of this land has been cut down. So it's a bit like that, and you guys are free from this these demon attacks, although you can still see it going on in the background.
Cool. Roland slumps to the floor, very worn out. And
Kai goes,
pulls out a water skin and drinks.
Kai goes to Roland's side and sort of says, "Have you got any food?"
And Roland pulls out from a pouch some cheese and begins eating it.
Kai nods and says, "I've got some dried meat if you want some. I feel like it's well, I owe you."
Roland kind of waves a hand and says, "Nope, quite all right. Cheese will hit the spot." And as he finishes this entire block of cheese that he just pulled out, he takes a swig of water and stands back up. Can I spend a hit dice, Will?
You can indeed.
I don't know where hit dice
Cool,
are.
back to full health.
Those who wish to can spend hit dice whilst you rest here.
I'm not going to lie to you, I have no idea what hit dice are.
Okay, Josh, if you go to your character sheet, click on core stats, scroll down, you'll have there'll be a thing at the bottom right called hit dice. You have 2 hit dice of the warlock variety. They're d8s. You can roll 1 or 2 of them. You get that many hit points back on a short rest, which is what we're doing now.
Cool, okay, brilliant. I'm just leave it as...
You recharge half of them per long rest, I believe. Or
Okay.
you recharge half your level, which is basically the same.
You can also do this, Caleb, if you wish to.
I'm alright.
Okay.
Wow.
alright.
I
That's nice. That's the highest roll you can get.
Do you get a bonus?
I-
Do you get a plus to your...
I don't think you
Hit
can.
dice?
If you're at full health, you can't go.
I
down.
can't take 10.
As in you. I didn't realise you got modifiers to hit dice. Is it con?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, I think we went over listened.
Yeah,
I forget things.
Okay. I would also like to take some time to talk to Caleb then.
Okay, so you guys kind of sitting down at this point.
Yeah.
Um, Kai wanders over.
Does she? I'm guessing she sees him wandering over.
No, you are entirely blind. I've already poked your eyes out. Yes, you see me coming.
Okay.
Sorry, Moldark
In-
joke. Had to be there.
Of course.
In that case, she just wants to kind of turn around and say, "What the fuck were those things?"
Kai looks sort of confused and then remembers that he's just been chased. His mind is elsewhere. He's like, oh. So, it appears you've been talking to my... Is the term lodger relevant in Dungeons and
Yeah.
Dragons? I feel like for the
Absolutely.
purpose of... Yeah, that's the best way to describe. So, I feel like you've been talking to my lodger, and I tapped the side of my head.
He's an interesting character. Now, what the fuck were those things?
Distant relatives of his. I don't honestly know. I'm guessing some kind of bottom feeders from Nilfheim, low on the evolutionary tree, and
They would appear to be shock troops of some sort. I encountered a few on my way down here, although not in those numbers. They, as you say, are most likely the worthless meat shields of whatever on earth is invading this plane.
my guess would it be either that they're simply the vanguard of a much more powerful attack, or maybe they're just being forced through every single gap because there's too bloody many of them. As you say, as the Raven Queen said, Nilfheim's pretty overrun at the moment, and, well, I doubt they're really in a position in their primal states to be carving out nice pieces of land to retire on. Then I imagine they'd have to find other places to settle down and feed, namely our realm.
A worthy hypothesis, although it's fairly academic at this point.
All you need to know is 1 or 2 ain't too much problem. If you see a swarm like that come your way, I point to Roland and say, the half-orc has got the right idea. Run like fuck.
She nods.
I assume we then rest for an hour, and then
Unless Kai actually had something other than that.
Yes,
to
I
say
did
to
actually
Galen.
have something to say.
Oh,
Okay.
oh, sorry, I thought you were
take this
totally.
time. Yeah, take this.
I thought you were totally
Take
finished.
this time to rest. Look, what exactly did Moldark want with you? And how the fuck did you end up in my mind?
Some kind of weird connection between Moldark and I don't get
Between what?
it. No, just magic or something. I'm not 100% sure, but
I nod and say, well, so, what do you think of, whatever the fuck he's done to you? I mean, personally, and I summon some sort of lightning in my hands and say, I can't say it's entirely unwelcome having power like this.
and Kaylin is also what color is your lightningy stuff? Out of curiosity.
Black. It's entirely black. Like,
In that case, Kaylin is going to do something similar, but with kind of a bluey, whitey lightning in her hand, and say, "I could see some possible attractions."
cool. We
Ah,
essentially are now
yes.
playing footsie with lightning.
I look at my magical power. Oh, no. None whatsoever. Rub it in.
I
why
turn
don't we?
to Roland and say, "So what's your deal exactly?"
And Kaylin's just
deal?
like, yeah, who are you? Why are you here?
I am here for the same reason you two are. A Raven Queen, a quest. Didn't want to do it. She stole my soul, and lo
Only
and
part
behold,
of your soul.
yes, yeah, well, it matters little. It's still mine. If a man, if a man is sleeping in your porch, he's still sleeping in your house.
I
It's more
stand
my way
stand
of
next to
thinking about
Roland.
it.
At this point, I'm standing next to Roland and I fold my arms looking at Kaylin and say, "And me and my new friend here, my new best friend here, plan to get our souls back. All of it."
I would like that too.
Well, we all have a reason to not murder each other then. This is pleasant. Makes a nice change.
It's almost as if it's a plot mechanic.
Yes.
And
Oh.
then Kaylin gets a light bulb, or whatever accounts for light bulbs in 5e. She gets a candle.
Yes. Very
And
bright
she's just
candle.
like, where's Duncan? And the other guy. The
It's-
dwarvy
you
guy.
did mention a party.
I look at Kaylin and say, well, judging by what we've seen of him so far, where do you think he is? As far away from any combat and responsibility as he could possibly be, and the further away he gets, the better I feel about it.
What happened while I was kind of, in your brain? How long was I in your brain?
Will, how long has she been gone for?
Couple of days.
That's it. Let's just say you've been gone a couple of days and just... Well, I decided to stay out of trouble and he decided to bring a couple of towns guard that were particularly pissed off. You know that elf we set free?
Nope.
I thought Kaylin was around for that.
Nope.
No,
Nope.
she wasn't.
I was
She's not-
unconscious
Oh my
laying
God.
next to you. In
Yeah, that happened at
You
Switches.
literally, you guys will like met each other once.
Oh, right, okay. Oh, God. Forget I say. Look, we found an elf. We were told that we had to transport the elf. I wasn't particularly happy about it. Duncan then decided... Oh, elf was a slave, just to clarify.
Kaylin growls.
Yeah, Kai just breezes on. Duncan decided that he'd let the elf go because he's a good-hearted soul like that, but then decided to wander into the only town where the elf was actually wanted and turn up empty-handed and then lead him, well, the guard and the guard captain to a fucking clearing where I was trying to get some sleep and start a fight. And I don't mean just start a fight. I mean, he fucking bolted, left me pretty much within arm's length of them, and then fired an arrow into the guard's face.
Sounds like a bit of a dick move.
Yes, quite. Well,
If I
shan't,
was there, I
he
would
shan't
have
be.
said...
You shan't be missed then, I
I
assume.
sort of put my... I sort of stand on my tiptoes and try to put my arm round Roland's shoulder, as in like a comradey sort of...
Your arms probably aren't long enough.
Yeah, no, but like you can... It's evident what I'm trying to do.
I get the
and
idea. It's weird.
Yeah,
but
and
I guess
I'm like... Yes, I'm like... Look, we don't need him. We've got Roland now, and Roland is my new best friend. No offense, you just weren't around, and the candidate slots filled up pretty quick, so you're just gonna have to work at it, he says to Kaylin. And then he, after sort of... Well, he wanders off because he's going to go do a little bit of hunting.
Okay.
Cool.
Kaylin's gonna snack on some rations of some kind.
Roland's just kind of dossing. He's chilling out, waiting for Kai to get back, and then, does anyone want to do anything before we continue on our way?
No, Kai comes back.
Oh,
All
we
good.
come back. We're all good. We continue on our way.
I want to say hello to the kilometer, who asks 5e is a hybrid of 2e and 3e, right?
Is he making good banter?
Very, yeah, more like 4e, I'd say. I'll snack on your rations, he says. I bet you will. Given half
You
a chance.
Oh God.
Given half a chance a kilometre, he'll do anything for rations. So you guys want to continue upon your merry way, don't you?
Yes. Indeed.
Yeah.
I thought so. Let's go to the info screen. I'll snack on your rations, thank you, Will. That's okay, kilometre. As we look on the info screen, you can see where exactly we are in the world. As you see these woods underneath Purg in the centre of the Broken Kingdom, you can see Brasso is up in the city in the sky. You'll be going underneath that at some point. If you're going to Cogdarum, which is slightly down to the bottom left of Brasso, that is exactly where you are. And of course, if you guys are interested in your stats, then they are up on the right here. Roland's at the top instead of Duncan's now. Superwatch King says, has no one got any PayPal money? They want a website. I don't have PayPal. Oh, Superwatch King, you can get PayPal, my friend. It's free. Don't worry. You can get it. I mean, if you just can't deal with PayPal, then you can Skype me. We can work something out if you're absolutely desperate. But PayPal is just easiest. But 5e is in a league of its own next. So after that brief interlude of looking at all the info for you guys on the map, let's continue. You guys on your adventure. You start walking towards through these stumpy plains, and yes, stumpy plains. Odd description, but seemingly fitting as you walk past these stumps of trees. So, are you guys doing anything in particular upon your journey?
Roland's just keeping a weather eye on the horizons.
Okay.
Kaylin wants to kind of see how far her newfound power extends, and she's just gonna try and try out some things. Nothing particularly major, just yeah.
Okay. Just realised that I needed to change the command for the what game we're playing because I changed it fully here. I know, Super Wars King. I need to get that changed. Don't worry. Don't blame me. About 2 meters is the kilometer. Okay, so you guys are travelling in kilometers. Segue. As you begin to get closer to this city in the sky, you can above see it cast a very long shadow upon you, and actually go for some hours in relative darkness for the time of day that it is. It's like a mass of clouds above you, and
That'll be Brasso then.
Kai's just sort of staring like in awe.
Now we just have to find a way to get up there. Let's hope dwarven engineering is what it is rumored to be.
okay.
I mean, like, it will stay in the sky, right?
Well, there's no being sure, is there? Roland gives a sly but slightly disconcerting grin because of all the burns and scars and piercings. You can't tell if it's a snarl or a grin.
Okay, so as you come out from the cloud, you see in the distance the city which you assume to be Cogdarum. It's, as I say, granite, and as you come near it actually looks like it's in motion. It looks like there are pistons and cogs rolling around at work at this city. You're still fairly far away, several miles out, but it looks like there are a lot of tents pitched outside, just outside of the city. It looks like there is a vast amount of people outside, and they're at a distance which would seem as though they are not, friendly. They're not camped right outside the city. They seem to be at a fairly decent range.
Will, can I roll a history to see if I know what this might be?
You certainly can, my
The
friend.
thing that is... I think it might be the thing that I accidentally fluffed in when I was considering playing a dwarf.
And thank you, AnM2711, for following. Welcome to the adventure.
It's a nat one.
Indeed.
You rolled a nat 1, you have a severe headache. For
You
trying
have
to
brain
think.
damage.